Hello, I'm Colleen. Let's talk about adaptability, which we all know about adapt or die. But what exactly is that? When you think of it, is that adapting to something is a series of changes that over time we get used to. So when you leave the mall and you step out of the front door, you don't look in the parking lot going, "Where's my horse?" You look for your car or you look for your taxi. And so imagine years ago when the car first came in, I'm sure people had trouble adapting to the idea that you didn't walk outside and look for your horse. And I'm sure a lot of people sat there and go, "Oh, this is ridiculous. Why do we have to have this newfangled way of transport? There's nothing wrong with a horse." Can't you hear those old people talking about the cell phones? What do you need that for? Why couldn't, in my day, okay. So I think in any change, you always have the people who are going to sit there and talk about in my day. Yes. And what you're looking at here is basically we all live in a little area. And that in that area was what we call a comfort zone. And the more comfortable we are there, the more likely we are to not want to leave that comfort zone. And the ironic thing is that even when the comfort zone is not comfortable, we still would rather go with what we know than what we don't know. So around our comfort zone, which can be quite big, there is another area of fear where you think, "Ooh, what happens if I step out of here? Oh, no, I'll just stay here." Okay. So lots of things. What happens if I get a new job? What happens if I change new country? What happens if all those scary things. What happens if I learn how to actually work with my cell phone? If I learn how to make a video online? Okay, so all these scary things that when we step out into a level of fear. But it's only when we transition through the fear that we then go into a learning phase where we're able to grow. And from learning, we then step into a growth phase where we have grown. Okay. So in lots of things, we feel that when you transition, you move from A to B. We move from A to B all the time. I mean, you moved up the passage to another office. You may even have moved countries as a transition. But it's very different when you transition compared to when you transform. So think about the caterpillar becoming a butterfly. It has to transform. It has to change what it is in order to become a different way. So people who gave up horses in order to do cars had to transform. They had to give up the way of thinking. They didn't just transition from A to B. It was a process of growth. But in order to get through growth, you've got to go through fear. Okay, so think about that. So during that transformation, we go through extreme levels of chaos where you're thinking, "I don't want to do this anymore. I want to go back to what I know." And during this time of lockdown, where we are going through extreme levels of transformation, we keep on wanting to go back to what we knew, what we were familiar with. Unfortunately, the comfort zone's gone. So just looking at the technology, where so many people would say, "Oh, let's have a coaching session online," and they'd say, "Oh, no, let's meet in person." Lockdown meant that the ability to meet in person was gone. And so people were forced to step out of the comfort zone. And so, yes, choosing to leave the comfort zone is a choice, but it's only a choice for a certain time, and then that choice is taken away from you. And that's where adapt or die comes in. Thank you. I'm Colleen.